We are the Elijah. We're from a small market town in Shropshire called Oswestry.
So pretty much every show we play, people always ask us like, where are you from? Whenever we tell them Oswestry, they're just like, well, where's that? There's nothing here in terms of a music scene or anything that sort of helped us on our way to like where we are right now. It's just we've been a band for about 4 years now, and in that time we've only released 2 EPs, which doesn't seem all that much really, but first one we've not disowned it, but our first CD was us sort of finding our sound, and I think by the time we'd wrote A Son of Disease we'd really sort of honed in on that, and now I think with the album we've sort of took that and just like made it into something like huge. We pretty much thought we'd do it ourselves up until we'd actually wrote our first album. It was all sort of it was DIY pretty much. We're pretty much control freaks when it comes to everything about this band. And this is the first time we've let other people from outside the 5 of us, we've let them in on the whole process that we go through. So it's a pretty new thing to us to actually be on a label and have a team.
So when we were like recording the album, we got to try different kind of ways of recording the drums, where we went to the hall and we recorded natural reverb, so the drums sounded natural, and it came out really well, I thought. And then a lot of it, because we doubled the tracks over, so I did go into the studio and record drums, and then I recorded drums at the hall. And in some of the album, there is no studio drums, it just goes to the natural drums where I was playing just in the hall, which is really cool.
We didn't expect them to sound as good as they did.
Yeah.
Like, because we were doing it with our own microphones. We pretty much went in there without any idea what to expect. We started recording them, we listened back, and it was just like,
it's incredible.
These are incredible.
Yeah.
Like, the idea was to probably only record a few sections of drums actually like that, but we pretty much ended up doing the whole album.
Yeah.
Like in there.
Like when we were in that environment, you're like, let's set up a guitar.
Yeah.
It really set the feel
Yeah.
for the album.
Yeah,
And
it
like
pretty
the
much
album-
shaped the whole album recording in that place.
Yeah.
I mean, like the artwork,
Yeah.
everything. It's all to do with that environment we recorded in.
Yeah. It's about 10 minutes away from where we live, and you'll recognise it from the music video I Hated, and this room is actually where the front cover is shot.
We used to practice in a pretty run-down old farm building that was pretty vile, leaked, and we had wasps' nest and stuff in there, so we were just kind of lucky that we could get away from there and just have this use of the hall.
And we're allowed to just do what we want in this big mansion. I mean, band practice in here, everything's in here, so it's pretty handy. But it's a strange 300-year-old building that's empty and derelict.
We don't really practice very often, as we don't really need to. We practice before we go on tour for a day or two pretty relentlessly, and that kind of tides us over. We tour kind of so much now that we're a well-oiled machine when it comes to our songs, and we know our songs well enough to not have to practice as much as a lot of other bands would.
So basically we decided to start our own screen printing sort of studio setup. Being in a touring band where we're away for most of the year, it was so difficult to find some sort of full-time or even part-time work. There's only very few places which would sort of let us do that, so it just made more sense to try and do something ourselves. And obviously merch being such a big part of being in a band, it made sense to just go ahead and try and do something with that.
And it's cool as well, because as well as acid washing, we get to try out different things. Like the other week we did make your own merch. What they did is pick the design colour, and then pick the t-shirt colour, which is quite cool because I don't think that's ever been done before. So it gives fans a chance to own a unique Elijah t-shirt, customised to their specific taste.
Literally about a year ago, I think, it was coming up to summer, and we thought, what can we do to sort of give all our t-shirts a nice little bit of an edge? We were on tour with Life Ruin at the time, and sort of thought, right, let's try and step it up and do something a bit different. So like no other bands were doing it at the time, so we thought, right, let's start acid washing all our stuff. Right, let's do like a special t-shirt just for them. We've just done 50 of them. We've started doing them tonight. As you can see, they're all behind me. But yeah, it's just something like we like to do to keep our merch sort of new. It's something like pretty unique. I mean, each one we do is different. So everyone that does buy them, they know they actually have like an individual t-shirt. Like they're never going to see someone else with the same, it's not going to be the same pattern, the same colours. So I think that's a pretty cool thing to own as a fan, and I hope that they can appreciate that we actually do spend a lot more time and effort doing these, because they don't just happen by themselves. We have to sort of get our hands dirty, but it's something we like to do, and I think the fans respond. They always, like, we sell out of them so quickly, so I think they agree that it's a pretty cool thing, and it's something we'll continue to do over summer.
Yeah, like people like sometimes say when we go on tour with like a heavy metal band or like a weirder band, like, why are you going on tour with them? And it's kind of like, well, who do we tour with?
It's hard for us to find a band. I notice a lot of bands go on tour with bands that sound the same as that band. And it's good that there's not really a band that sounds like us, or there's some similar, but I don't know. It's good that we do seem to get plopped on different tours with bands that we wouldn't even associate us with, metal bands, and kind of.
Like like this year alone, we've toured with The Bled and Closure Moscow. Like two extremes there.
Two different crowds, really.
And yeah, I mean it means we can play to a much broader like section of people. Like
yeah, a lot more people that maybe wouldn't have had the chance to listen to us before because they didn't research into the type of music, or they get the chance to see us. And especially with seeing us live, back to that, is like, it's cool, we stand out. We always stand out as that band that, oh, that was the Elijah, they were really cool to watch.
Projector.
And we find like a lot of people say to us on Facebook and stuff, kind of like how much they enjoyed it and kind of appreciate that we're doing something different and we don't sound like every other band in the UK. That's cool.